think I'm actually gonna hit record because I wanna rant a little bit. I want to rant a little bit about something that I know that some people have had experience with. Maybe not everybody, though. So here's the question. How many of you in chat have had experience with dating apps? Because I've got a handful of stories to tell. And not because I want... Oh, God, I fucked this up. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm good. Katini says, none. Katini, you are very lucky. You are incredibly lucky. Ultrafine Point says me. Necrophage says yup. A Zero Dime says here, dating apps, don't know if I still like them. I can tell you how I feel about them. Garbage. Complete and utter garbage. Maybe I should give some context. It said grinder flashbacks. Oof. I haven't seen anything about this game, but it looks like just more furry Breath of the Wild. I mean, if I were to call Sonic furry Breath of the Wild, I don't think that would be inaccurate. However, oh god, that sucked. So nope, lucked out and found my player 2 without one. So I'm polyamorous. So dating apps are a bit more of a constant thing than just a, hey, I found my partner and then I'm done. So, context. I have not been comfortable with the idea of dating again for the last 2-ish years because, well, let's just say my last few dating experiences outside of Raz have been incredibly bad, stressful, and awful. All things considered, I just don't want to return to the dating world and have it go the way that I've had it go in the last couple of tries. So. Recently, Raz set me up with a couple of dating apps so that I could kind of poke my head around and, you know, see what it's like getting my feet wet again. And oh my god, the world that dating apps are now is completely different than a few years ago, back when I was using them when I was younger. And I'm not trying to do a whole, like, aha, back in my day, these things were better. No, they sucked then, too. But let me maybe give an example. So, back when I was growing up, we had a handful of dating apps that we could use. If you were a teenager, you'd use, like, it was called E-Spin the Bottle. There was, of course, Plenty of Fish, OkCupid. And then you would hear about things like eHarmony, but almost nobody wanted to actually use the damn website because, unlike most other websites, it costed money. Well, capitalism seems to get its hands on everything, including loneliness. And now we've got a little more shit to worry about besides just those bits of monetary stupidity. So, what do I mean by that? Well, around the time that Tinder came out, I didn't get to use Tinder all that much because I didn't have much of a reason to. But then, lo and behold, as I'm getting set up on dating websites again, I start to notice something. They all act like Tinder, and it's not just a handful of them. OkCupid, which I had used, years ago, like almost a decade ago at this point, was acting exactly like Tinder. With the swipe left, and here's your swipe left, swipe right. Here's your very limited number of likes you have in the day. You cannot chat with people unless you both match with them. Like, all of that stuff is, that's how Tinder works. And I'm sure some people have had great luck on Tinder, and, I'm happy for you if you have. But when I found that OkCupid did that, I was like, okay, well, what about Plenty of Fish? It does that too. Okay, well, what about Bumble? It's that, but with the gimmick of girls have to message you first, which, I'm not saying non-binary people ruin that entire equation for them, but I mean that is the gimmick on Bumble. And so I started looking around at other apps because I got curious. I was like, is there any of these that operate a little differently than just Tinder? Because having 8 versions of Tinder on your phone doesn't help anybody. It's actually a little bullshit because apps like Tinder are designed from their inception to waste your time. And what I mean by this is apps like Tinder are built not for you to find a date, not for you to have sex, not for you to do any of that. They're designed for you to spend time on them. And naturally, you will spend more time on a dating app if you are failing to find dates than if you successfully find dates. If you succeed in finding dates, with the exception of people who are polyamorous or potentially people who are swingers, you won't really have a need to go back to the app.
From the path. Turn back.
What? I'm not straying from the path. I'm... What? Also, I thought we've decided that that voice was evil. Why am I having to listen to it now? Anywho. Dating apps want you to date the app instead of people. Basically, you're not spending time looking for a partner or a friend or anything like that. You're spending time with the app. The app is happy the longer you are stuck with the app. The app is upset if you leave it. Now, there are apps, say, like Hinge, that say, like, their gimmick is, oh, this is the app that is meant to be deleted. This is the app that, if you manage to get it, you will find a date here, and oh, don't worry, you definitely will be deleting this app. No, the app is designed functionally identically to Tinder because they're all just Tinder. All of them. And again, while I'm sure that that is somebody's bag, while I'm sure that that's something that somebody enjoys, I don't. I don't like being on dating apps in the first place, but yeah, you gotta think. I play card games. Like, that's my thing. I go to a card game shop, and you don't go there looking for dates. And if you do, you're very creepy. Like, please don't go to a fucking card shop looking for a partner. I'm sorry. Yeah, a lot of money is not enough for them. So, in their attempt to get your money, in their attempt to get your time, apps like these will make it very hard for you to find dates, but I think I found the worst one. Dear God, the absolute worst one of all of these. And it's not Tinder. It's not even shit like MAGA Mingles. Of course, like, your Christian Mingles, your MAGA Mingles, your Trump dating sites. Like, we go on those for fun. We go on those for shits and giggles. But when it comes to actual dating websites, the ones that are used by the majority of the population, the worst one by far, without a shadow of a doubt that I have messed with, is called MeetMe. I died. Let me explain MeetMe. MeetMe is like Tinder, but with a bunch of extra bells and whistles. Except MeetMe is infested with something I like to lovingly call bots and romance scams. And I'm not actually lovingly call them that, I'm just accurately calling them that. Because holy fucking shit. Said, but if not at the local hobby shop or online games, where can I go looking for partners? So here's the thing. If you get a date from a card shop, more power to you. But don't go there looking for a partner, is what I'm saying. If one happens to be there, then neat. It's like going to work, right? Don't go to work looking for a date. You know, go to work looking for a paycheck. Don't go onto an online MMO looking for a date. Go on there looking to play a game. If you happen to find somebody who, wants to be with you on any of those mediums, go right ahead. More power to you. But there's no shortage of creepy old men in those spaces who are looking to find the local cosplayers and do them a boink. And, again, those people are fucking creepy. So when someone plays an online game looking for a partner, they most of the time end up passively annoying someone. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, if we're playing WoW and we happen to fall in love, like, mutual hatred, but, not quite hard enough. There's some kind of anime joke here, I'm sure. But basically, there's a variety of ways you can meet people in those spaces, and there's nothing wrong if you happen to do so. But if you find yourself in those spaces looking for someone, you're just going to come off as a creep. You're just going to come off as desperate. You're going to come off as the problem, quite literally. Okay, do I care about killing these people this time? Neither of the spaces to find friends? Well, of course. Duh. Go to those spaces to find friends. There's nothing wrong with that. But let me talk about MeetMe. Let me talk about this. What is MeetMe? Like I said, MeetMe is a variant of one of these Tinder clones that looks like it was maybe built to have a smidge more integrity in mind, but it doesn't. What it actually is a bot farm. So I don't want to show you my MeetMe profile for obvious reasons. I don't want any of y'all guys trying to find me on a dating app. That's even weirder than looking for a date on a card shop. Looking for a date in a card shop is strange. Looking for a date on Twitch is stranger. Like, this is not a dating site. Streamers are here to entertain you. We're not here to be your waifus or husbandos. Why did I get 2 gears off this fight? Holy shit. Why am I up here? Jesus Christ. Anyway, now that that madness is over. So, my time on OkCupid, on all of these sites, unilaterally has been about what I expected. It's the Tinder experience. Swipe right a bunch of times, maybe get a chat with somebody, maybe don't. Who knows? MeetMe is a particular level of awful, though. When you go on, I don't know if this experience is shared by people who are of the more femme persuasion. I'm not certain. But I can tell you that in my experience... Let me open up my phone right now. Let me see how many of these I have right now. Notifications on MeetMe. As of right now, I have... It says 50 plus. It won't tell me how many I have there because I've ignored so many of them. I can tell you of the conversations I've had on there. I've had a single normal one. Didn't end up going anywhere, but I was thankful enough that there was a normal person on there.
That thing is huge. It looks important.
So, within a minute or two of logging onto the app, I had a comment on one of my pictures. And the comment was very like, "Hi, you're handsome." Okay, cool. That's neat. I'm happy that somebody complimented me. I guess I'll have a conversation with this person. And then the conversation began with them sending me a nude of themselves with a picture, not a picture, but a link to a website. Now, I didn't click the link. I've had my channel stolen before. I don't tend to click random links anymore. Once upon a time, I did that. I'm not doing that from now on. So I was like, okay, cool. We've got what seems to be a bot sending me a link to a website. This was confirmed when I talked to another bot that did the same thing, and I started to notice patterns. You start to be able to figure out like what makes a bot and what doesn't after a while. Because after a while, you've talked to enough of them, you're like, okay, I see these patterns. I see what's going on here. It makes sense now. Each one of these bots opens up the conversation with a standard hello and then throws a nude of themselves with a link. Now, what they're trying to do is get somebody who's a little less scrupulous, a little more desperate. You know, thank God for being poly. I don't, have the loneliness factor to the same degree as I might normally have. Oh, come on. I guess I'm not getting up there that way. I've received no less than 50. Probably more than that. Messages from these various bots. But there was one that was interesting to me. One that wasn't actually a bot, but was something else. Something y'all might be a little more familiar with based on the stuff we've already talked about on the channel. So there was one person who was a little more sneaky. They apparently swiped right on my profile. And the way these apps work is, unless you pay money, you can't actually see who has swiped right on your profile. But that's not really true. Because what you can do is you can just look at the silhouette of the blurry picture that is provided to you on the website, and you can actually match with that person pretty normally. How's it going, Max Schmal? How you doing? So, if you match with one of these people, you then get the ability to talk with them. It's the same way Tinder works. Again, all of these are just some variation of Tinder. Really. So I talked to this person, and we have a decent-ish chat for a minute, but the very first thing they ask me is not something about myself. What they ask me is, do I have Google Chat? Now, I used to use Google Hangouts a lot. I used to use Google Plus a lot back when that was a thing. I kind of miss it, all things considered, now that Twitter is turning into more of a cesspool than it used to be. So, what happens? I ask, hey, why do you need me to grab this other app? Like, we're talking on this website. We're talking on MeetMe. Why would I change the site I'm talking to you on? We're already here. Now, I know that the goal of any of these websites, if you are on them, is to move the conversation away from the dating site and move it instead onto, I don't want to wait that long, Sonic. I just want to go down here. Thank you. The goal is to move away from the dating website so you can have conversation elsewhere. I'm not fighting the caterpillar. I'm sorry. I have no want to fight you. You're not a boss fight I care about right now. So, I point out to this person, I'm not going to go to your website. It's probably just a scam. I've had 1,012 other people try to link me to websites of various forms and varieties. I just don't have the need to do that. And they went, oh, I'm sorry that you've been scammed before. I mean, it makes sense. This is actually not a scam. Like, I'm just wanting you to hop on basically Google Hangout stuff. I want to have a normal conversation there. And, you know, this isn't a dating site specifically. This is just a place where friends and family chat and keep up. And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, that's what Google Chat is. I've used it before. I get it. But this person's talking like a normal person. So maybe we'll have a normal conversation. Let me pull up the actual conversation we had so that maybe you'll see where I'm coming from. So after I downloaded it, I said, hey, it's me from MeetMe. They responded. Their name on here is Tammy. I'm okay saying that because I don't think their name is actually Tammy. Tammy says, Nice to talk to you on here, hun. Have you ever heard of a sugar mommy? And what is your experience with them? Now, that would be one thing. I'm not looking for a fucking sugar mommy. I'm just a poly person who's looking for another partner. That's all that is. That's the long of it. That's the short of it. No other details required. So I pointed out, I mean, yes, I know what a sugar mommy is. I don't have experience with them, but, you know, that's it. I don't necessarily need experience with them either. I don't want sugar mommies. I'd rather somebody who just has a regular, legitimate relationship. So, the next part of the conversation is them saying, well, I'm Tammy by name. I lived in Turkey for years, and I'm from Florida, Miami Beach, but I traveled a lot. I believe in honesty because that's the key to the human heart. I just want you to consider yourself rich as long as you promise me you'll always be loyal and honest. First of all, what does loyalty and honesty look like to somebody like that? I'm just curious. Secondly, with me not knowing what the fuck they meant, I said, I don't actually know what you're talking about. And I would need some evidence that this isn't a scam. So, she then says, money is not a problem at all, but I need a good man that will never turn me down. I'm financially stable, and I like to help others because that's what I learned from my late dad. I inherited a lot from my late dad. Here's where things get interesting. They then say that they own a hotel. However, the way they make the majority of their money... I didn't get my rings in time. I died because I didn't get my rings in time. And I died because I was reading off this fucking scam. Okay, let me continue. I make most of my money through Bitcoin business, and I'd like to teach you because I don't like to win alone. Bitcoin. You know, if crypto wasn't a scam, you would think that they would have to use less scammy tactics to get to people. I don't have any... Nope, I did not have rings. Went from let me be your sugar mommy to buy my crypto. Yes. It went from I want to share my wealth with you to buy my cryptocurrency instantly. And it's kind of insane. Yeah, what do you do after you got rich? You went and tried to scam people for crypto that you apparently don't need. Amazingly. Amazing. And I just want to point out, these websites are already shit because of how predatory they are. Like, these websites are already predatory to people who are lonely, especially guys. Like, it's no secret it is harder in the dating world to get dates for guys, though there are issues you run into if you are on the other end of the spectrum as well. While it may be easier for you to get dates on the other end of the spectrum, dating is more dangerous for you in general. So take which side you want. Do you want the side of predatory crypto scammers, or do you want the side of people who are predatory and will physically harm you? Take your pick. It all fucking sucks. But if you want to find any of it, I guarantee you'll find all of it on fucking MeetMe. I guarantee you will find all of the terribleness of the internet there. And it really does kind of suck. Because, again, these websites are already shit, right? There's nothing fun about having to be on a dating website. There's nothing fun about messing around with those tools. There's nothing enjoyable about that experience already. But when you add on to the predatory nature of those websites, the increased amount of predatory scams that will happen where people are apparently sending you nudes trying to get you to buy fucking crypto. It's just a giant cesspool. I guess we go here. Did you already cover the news? No, I just woke up. And we can go through the, myriad of issues, pointing out, like, hey, if you actually are a rich person, why do you need other people buying your fucking cryptocurrency? You shouldn't need any of that. It should be easy for people to just, it should be easy for you to just demonstrate your wealth. It should be easy for you to demonstrate that you are as well off as you say. Area Starlight says, I'm always worried accounts that send nudes like that might be supplied with revenge porn pics. Oh, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. You bring up a good point. So, a thing that I noticed about these websites as well, especially MeetMe, is that this website didn't just have a bunch of bots. There would be, like, one person with 6 pictures, right? 6 profile pictures that all looked close enough to them being the same person. And then another person who would message you would have a different profile picture, but it would be one of the ones that's in the backlog of the first person. It's like for every 1,000 people, there's 100 pictures distributed between them. I'm fairly certain none of those people are real. And what I mean by that is, for every 1 or 2 real people, there's probably infinitely more crypto scammers than there are actual real people on there. Or, other types of scammers on those websites that aren't just crypto scammers. Ah, I see what it wants me to do. I understand now. I see what the puzzle is. There's probably real people who have actually tried to give out their nudes, who have actually tried to have their stuff on, say, OnlyFans or shit, and all of their stuff has probably been taken by these crypto scammers. Where is the third one? I guess that's where the third one is. And the other one's up there. The one surprised me. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, all you need is one person. All you need is one person to run these bot farms. You don't need more than just that. Just a single person with a lot of time on their hands. There's another fishing spot here? God, there's so many fishing spots in this area. And it's just kind of insane to me. It's not just insane to me that people fall for those types of scams. It's insane to me that those types of scams are as predatory as they are. But I know they're that way because the people who are... Oh, God. I shot myself down into the water. The people who are most vulnerable to cryptocurrency scams, the people who are most vulnerable to romance scams, are the people who are the most lonely. The people who are the most willing to drop money on someone they don't know so that they can get some semblance of feeling wanted, some semblance of feeling like they're deserving of love. And it just kind of sucks. Like, I know I'm decently insulated from most of that. I almost made the same mistake twice. But I know there's a lot of people who aren't. And those are the types of people that these scams work on. In a lot of ways, they're the kinds of people these scams are aimed at almost exclusively. So I just wanted to kind of complain about that a little bit. Which Sonic is this? This is Sonic Frontiers. I wanted to talk about that a little bit because not only are dating websites in general pretty goddamn awful, but some of them are just the absolute fucking worst thing on the planet. And there's no shame to using a dating site. There's no shame in that at all, because most of our third places we would meet people for dates are kind of gone anyway. Places we used to use just don't exist in the same ways they used to. But if you do find yourself using dating sites, if you do find yourself using any of these mediums, I would say please, 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 be careful. These places are not... They are not safe. They are not places that I can recommend going to if you're particularly lonely. And all things considered, the swipe right, swipe left mentality we have on those sites, I'm not sure if studies have been done on this, but I'm fairly certain that they actually lead to a higher rate of triggering people's depression. Something about gamifying dating like that, it feels icky. I don't know how else to describe it. It just feels icky. And it's weird to me that, like, the way that dating sites used to be built, the way that they used to function, has kind of gone by the wayside in favor of this very game version of dating. This very quick swipe a bunch of times and walk away from it style of trying to meet people. There's genuine connections to be had there. I know that. But the websites themselves do not seem to be built so that they can manifest those kinds of connections. They seem to be built so that they can waste your time. And not just waste your time, but consume and monetize it. Tater Shaman, just stick to Farmers Only. Welcome to FarmersOnly.com. There ain't no bullshit because we only got farmers here. And we ain't talking about crypto farmers. It's a business. The sites are built to make the owners money. Yep, I understand that. There's just something gross about human loneliness being a business. That's all I'm saying. There's something really fucking gross about human loneliness being a business. Because if the solution in any of those sites was to actually alleviate the loneliness, then those sites wouldn't be in business. Like, a proper dating website's goal should be to be out of business. That's just my thought. Like, in a perfect world, a dating website should exist for only as long as there are people who need it. And there will always be people who need it, but they don't seem to be engineered to elicit meeting people, to elicit good conversations, to elicit friendships, to elicit dating. They seem to be engineered to elicit wasting of time. Because wasting your time is what makes them money. The longer you feel you need the app, the more money they make. And boy, don't get me wrong, the amount of money that they make off of this shit is insane. A membership to any of these websites? Holy shit. Some of them are like $30 a month, unless you're willing to get specifically the versions of the membership that are like over a year. It's like $30 a month unless you buy for a year, and then it goes down to $15. But at that point, you're spending like $150 at once. Just the whole thing is gross. The whole thing reeks. But whereas a lot of dating sites used to be built on... I don't know the best way to put it. They were built in such a way that you could get dates, and you could at the very least have conversations. You could gain friendships off of them. Now it's more hookup culture-y. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hookup culture is there for people who enjoy it. I'm not one of them. I'm Demi. Hookup culture doesn't do a whole lot for me. Plenty of Fish is aptly named. Plenty of Fish is another one that's like that. Like, Plenty of Fish turned into a Tinder clone. All of them turned into Tinder clones. And it's really, really, really dumb. Says, what's your opinion on Trump running for president again? It's expected. Him running for president isn't the worst thing in the world, though, because splitting the Republican base between him and DeSantis is fine by me. You know, that was my... oh, God, sorry for the coughs. That was my rant on dating sites in 2022. They feel much more predatory than they used to be. They're all gamified. They all feel like some budget version of Tinder. And I'm just not a huge fan. I didn't like using them back in the day, and I think I like using them less now. So, yeah. There's that. That's all I got. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys have any experience using these kind of websites? Do you have any experience dealing with the muck and mire and bullshit that comes with them? If you do, feel free to let me know. Sorry, my voice is all crackly right now. I don't feel too terribly great for a multitude of reasons, but the sickness is certainly not helping. Neat. Oh, God. It just feels gross. All right. That was death. That was death. We'll try to get this one solved, and then we will close out this particular video. Just because I can't press the record button right now. If we take the rail grinding slowly... Wait, can I just skip the rail? For those who don't know, the boost button is the same as the grip walls button. Tater talking shit like you didn't meet me on Tinder. All. Here we go. There we go. There we go. And that happened. And that happened. Okay. Why did it not grip me while I was holding the button? Guys, Sonic Frontiers is a good game. I actually really enjoy this game a lot. It's surprising how much I like a game that is a smidge more broken than it should be. All right. There we go. There we are. That gets us where we wanted to be. I forgot to hit the button that makes this entire thing worth it. And you know what? If that's not an allegory for how dating websites feel to use, I don't know what is. Insert in the video tagline here.